Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Quran Daily. And this is the last episode for the holy month of Ramadan. Well done, everybody, on surviving the month. Well done on fasting for the month or fasting for the days that you did. I'm very happy that I did as well. It's been a challenge, but I am very, very grateful and looking forward to Eid tomorrow. But before we get into that, we should say my name is Ahmed, and I'm welcoming you back to another series where we're reading the Quran in Arabic, where I'm reading the Quran in Arabic and discussing it in English. And I would like to start by saying that I'm not an Arabic linguist. I've not studied the Arabic language, nor am I a Quranic scholar. I'm merely undergoing a journey to discover the Quran and share my learnings with you, and hopefully you can share your learnings with me too, because I might have missed something, or I might have misunderstood something, and I would love to hear your perspectives. I've learned a lot from the people in the comments, so it's really appreciated. As usual, we always say before we begin Quran reading, we say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, which means I seek refuge from God, from the devil, and in the name of God, who is most merciful and whose mercy is most encompassing. And yeah, we're now getting into Al-Fajr, which again we're starting from the very end, and now we've reached chapter 89. I think we started from 114, so well done. I'm really excited to get into this verse. I don't know why, but I have a good feeling about it. So I've not read this before, so I'm very curious to see what it says. Oh, what? Okay, first one's clear. By the dawn. And here we know that when it starts with wa, it's kind of like swearing. It's like saying by the dawn. It's like I'm swearing by the dawn. Wal-Fajr. So now here's an interesting thing. And the nights that are 10, that comes to my mind is the last 10 nights of Ramadan, which we're in at the moment, where we talked about it on my channel to be like the night of fate, Laylat al-Qadr, might be amongst the last 10 nights. Now, I'm not sure that it is because I don't have a Quranic references, but we have this as like from the Prophet times. So from a saying from the Prophet, I believe. So I think this is what this could mean, but this could mean something else. But let's see what else it says. Oh, okay. And it says in the even and the odd. So I thought that was like shaf' min al-shafa'a. I might be confused, which sounds like that I am. So in the even and the odd, shaf' wal-watr. Okay. And the night by when it passes. So there's all the things that God is swearing by, which is okay, interesting. Okay. Is there in that an oath for those who understand? So something about the even and the odd, the night that passes, the 10 nights, and dawn. Is there anything in that, an oath for those who understand? I may not be one of those that understand. The dawn for me is the one that would make me revere the beauty of God and feel like the day is starting and feel like the magic of the universe and the solar system. So I would say there is an oath in that for those. That's the one thing. Even an odd is an interesting one, though. Anyway. Okay. I'm going to show my lack of ignorance when we talk about Aad. But did you not see how your Lord dealt with Aad? I'm kind of... Aad Quran. Where the ancient tribe in pre-Islamic Arabia, Aad is best known for mentioned 24 times in Quran after conjecture. Prosperous group living after the time of Noah. Aad built great buildings associated with Ahqaf, understood as the sand dunes. Yeah, so it's the people of Aad. Okay. But did you not see how the people dealt with Aad? I did not see, but I imagine at the time of the Prophet they might have seen. Again, it's imagine rather than see, because you don't actually see it with your eyes. Okay. So haven't you seen what your Lord did with Ad and with Iram? I guess is the name of another people of Iram, the possessors of the lofty pillars with their great statures.
التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد.
Yeah, talking about the pillars of Iram, that there was nothing had been created similar to like them in any other cities.
وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد.
Oh, that's interesting. Here it's saying, and Thamud, those who carved out the rocks in the valley, and we understand their homes as being the link to it, and it might have mentioned the Petra was always an idea of like, because Petra is a city that's built into the mountain, but we just know that Thamud carved rocks in the valley, so we can understand it to be their homes, but it's not necessarily explicit.
وفرعون ذي الأوتاد.
And the pharaoh and the owner of the stakes, the mighty structures. So again, it's saying all these people, Ad, Iram, Thamud, and Pharaoh.
الذين طغوا في البلاد.
What do they all have in common? They're the ones who transgressed in the lands.
فأكثروا فيها الفساد.
So they made in it a lot of corruption.
فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب.
So God poured on them a scourge of punishment. Yeah. So this is what they all have in common.
إن ربك لبالمرصاد.
Yeah, and indeed God is vigilant, ever watchful. He's on guard. Which, yeah, sometimes we kind of struggle with these days, because you're like, where is the justice? Where is it coming? How do we stop them? But yeah. Let's see, sure.
فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن.
Okay. And as for the man, the human, is that when God is testing him, and is generous to him and favors him, then he says, "My Lord has honored me." Now, whenever a human being is being tested by the Lord, whenever a human being is being tested by his Lord and is generous to his Lord and favors upon his Lord, and he says, "My Lord has honored me," what happens to them?
وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن.
Oh, okay. So in the first example, it's saying they're tested by God, and then is generous to him and favors him. Then he says, "God has honored me." And here the opposite. He says, and if he's tested, and he restricts his provisions, then he says, "My Lord has humiliated me."
بل لا تكرمون اليتيم.
Okay, so here it's saying, no, the problem is, it's not that you're given wealth when you're happy, and you're poor when you're struggling. I'm not happy with you, or you're not getting my favors. The reality is, you are not honoring the orphans and being kind to the orphans, being generous. So giving to the orphans. So here it's saying that the problem that you have is that you're not giving back. Is that you're not trying.
ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين.
And we have Mr. Matar on the channel with us, which is saying that he was tested and then he was gotten. He was tested in the good he'd gotten. So here he was saying, yeah, tested. He was tested in the generous favor that God was given to him, and then he was tested in the negative provisions. And when he was tested with the good, he said, God has honored me. When he was tested with the bad, he said, God humiliated me. Welcome to the channel. Nice to have you on live, Mr. Matar. Very cool. And here it's saying it's neither that that when God's kind to you, He's honoring you, and when God's bad to you, He's making you suffer. He's just telling you that you're not honoring, you're not being gracious to the orphans, you're not feeding the poor, and
وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما
and you consume the inheritance, devouring it all together. You devour the inheritance, devouring it completely. You devour others' inheritance greedily, and like inheritance kind of like talks about just what you inherit, but it's also it can mean what someone's supposed to gain, not necessarily inheritance through means of death and parents, and this is kind of the harm.
وتحبون المال حبا جما
And you love money, a love that is immense, and you love wealth fervently. This is again all the things of like you're not being tested with good and tested with bad. You just love your wealth too much.
كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا
Nay, and that when the earth is leveled and pounded and crushed, when the earth is entirely crushed over and over,
وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا.
and again we see like the beautiful dakka and dakka, safa and safa. There's beautiful poetry. And your Lord comes with the angels, rank upon rank. When your Lord comes to judge with angels, rank upon rank.
وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر الإنسان وأنى له الذكرى.
Yeah, this is very beautiful. وجاء يومئذ بجهنم, and is brought that day to hell, or hell is brought that day. Hell is brought forth from that day, and on that day, the human will remember. And it's like, oh, this is the day. We think, oh wait, that's right. I was supposed to do the things. I was supposed to be good. I was supposed to be feeding the orphans and being kind and be fair. But when lahu al-dhikra. But like, what is the use of remembering at that point? At that point, it's too little, it's too late, it's too far. I didn't realize how long this chapter was until I was reading through it.
يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي.
Okay, and then at that point they'll say, oh, I wish I had sent forth in my life. I wish I had done good while I was still alive before the day of judgment. And when it's too late, you're like, oh, I wish I'd done good.
يومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد.
Ooh, that's interesting. So on that day, nobody will punish his punishment to anyone. On that day, he'll punish them severely like no other. No one will punish the way that he punishes anyone. That's a bit confusing to me, but I think it's just saying, I like this translation, like he'll punish them severely like no other. No one will punish the same way that God will punish.
ولا يوثق وثاقه أحد.
And nobody will bind his binding, and no one will bind them tightly like no other. And again, it's describing the judgment day.
يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة
before we get into the soul that is satisfied, and I think it is more than no one will take of his punishment. Okay, so no one will take of his punishment? Is that what you're saying? فَيَوْمَئِذٍ لَا يُعَذِّبُهُ عَذَابَهُ أَحَدٌ. I like the translation here. فَيَوْمَئِذٍ لَا يُعَذِّبُ عَذَابَهُ أَحَدًا. Or replace him to get punishment that he deserves. فَيَوْمَئِذٍ لَا يُعَذِّبُ عَذَابَهُ أَحَدًا. Or his punishment doesn't torment anybody else. Like, it's saying that day, لا يعذب عذابه أحدا, which means that day nobody, his torment will not torment anyone. That's the way that I understand it. But now then it transitions and says, "O ye, ya ayyuha an-nafs al-mutma'inna, O ye the soul." Mutma'inna doesn't mean satisfied. Tranquil is a bit more. It's like you're self-assured. You're like, you know that good is coming. You're confident. You rest assured. Like you're quite satisfied is an interesting word. Tranquil. You're at peace. You know what's happening. And God will say to the righteous, this is not said but implied, "Oh, tranquil. So ya ayyuha an-nafs al-mutma'inna." Which I also kind of feel like it translates to now. Like it can tell us now. It doesn't have to be for that day. But yeah. Oh, no, it is for that day. Never mind.
ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية.
So, oh, you tranquil soul, return to your Lord, well pleased and pleasing. You're well pleased with Him and pleasing to Him. Radiya, for me, translates to you have been satisfied, you have been pleased, you've done good. And mardiya means you are pleasing. You are pleasing to those around you. You are pleased and you are pleasing.
فادخلي في عبادي.
So enter among my slaves, join my servants.
وادخلي جنتي.
And enter my paradise, my Eden. Beautiful. Very beautiful. So here, I think for me, the big standout lesson from this book, from this chapter at the very least, is that it's not the tests that we face of when we're favored, and when we're restricted in favor and restricted in provision. We say that God has honored us and God has humiliated us, but the reality is it's just a result of our own doing. It's saying, no, it's because you're not kind to the orphan, you're not giving to the poor, and you're eating the inheritance or what others are owed, and you love wealth dearly. And if you weren't to do them, then even if you were to give back to the poor and give to the needy and take care, then even when you struggle and even when you suffer, you understand, you have more compassion in your heart, and you're not worried about God punishing you or taking away. You don't have this attitude that he was saying before, that my Lord has humiliated me. Yeah, so it's also very beautifully philosophical, the Quran. It's kind of very magical. Like, it really teaches you not to be egotistical. It teaches you to be more grateful, more humble, and do good. And as long as you're doing good, then you're going to be able to survive the hardships and the pleasures of life, so to speak. But yeah, that's it. And that concludes today's episode. We always end with Sadaq Allah al-Ali al-Azim. And that concludes the series. This is going to be released, obviously, on the last day of Ramadan, which should be Sunday. Sunday the 30th? Yeah, Sunday the 30th. Which means tomorrow it's Eid Mubarak. Mr. Matar, unfortunately, you've seen this episode. You're part of it, the live stream. I started doing live streams on YouTube because I'm trying to see if this works. When I come back after Ramadan to the regular schedule, I might now start doing Quranic episodes live streamed at a specific time, because I really enjoyed this back and forth that I had with Mr. Matar, for instance. That was great. And yeah, if we have a consistent time, then maybe you guys can attend it. I know I release my episodes on midnight at the moment, but I still, like, this is all up to suggestions and to grabs. So if you have any suggestions for what times would work best, what time zones you're in, I have no idea how I can accommodate a lot of people. I think I just have to pick a time and go for it. But maybe let's do a day of the week. Can you just comment in below what day of the week would be best if we were to stream? I was doing it previously on the weekend, and I probably will have to do that if I work again. But just out of curiosity, it would be nice to hear. But until then, I hope you guys have had a wonderful Ramadan. Thank you for joining us for these series. I appreciate you all. And next episode will be released on Friday, inshallah. Ma'as salam. Take care. Bye-bye.